Welcome to yet another day in wrestling history. On May 16th, 2004, the WWE SmackDown brand presented Judgment Day from the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. On this night, the very foundations of the Staples Center were rattled to their core, as a hapless Scotty 2 Hotty danced to the ring, only to find himself face to face with the one and only Mordecai. I'm just kidding, that's not what this video is about. In the main event on this night, John Bradshaw Layfield challenged for the WWE Championship against Eddie Guerrero for the first time. But a lot had changed about JBL in recent weeks, so let's go back and see what happened. On the March 18th edition of SmackDown, Paul Heyman was rattled after being humiliated by John Cena. He bumped into the APA in the corridor and Farouk had some choice words for him. Heyman responded by saying that you better win your tag team championship match tonight, or you may be fired. Unfortunately, Farouk and Bradshaw were unable to win the championships, and they wasted no time storming into Paul Heyman's office. Heyman responded that he was only referring to Farouk, as he'd been the one who had been joking about Heyman. Bradshaw, he said, had a lot to offer. He was a contributor on Fox News, and recently a published author. Heyman fired Farouk, but not Bradshaw. Farouk wanted Bradshaw to walk out with him, but Bradshaw just couldn't do it, citing all the projects he had going, and he couldn't afford to throw all that away. Farouk walked away, leaving Bradshaw alone. The following week on SmackDown, Kurt Angle was named as the new SmackDown General Manager. On the same night, Bradshaw came out sporting a new look. He was introduced as John Bradshaw Layfield, and he put forward the case that anybody else would have done the same thing to keep their job. On the April 1st edition of SmackDown, Kurt Angle introduced the Great American Award. To qualify, you would have to win a match tonight, and then there would be a public vote to decide who would win the trophy and a number one contendership. Angle did a speech saying that Eddie Guerrero's lying, cheating and stealing ways were not great American qualities. Remember, Eddie Guerrero had beaten Kurt Angle recently at WrestleMania 20. JBL came out to defend Angle, and was therefore added as a fifth entrant for the Great American Award despite not qualifying. On April 7th, John Cena won the popular vote, but in a last-ditch effort to win the award, JBL aired controversial footage at him claiming to be an unpatrolled part of the American-Mexican border, chasing who he claimed to be illegals back over the border. The Olympic gold medalist was impressed by this, and overturned the popular vote, giving JBL the win and the number one contendership. However, it was revealed that Eddie Guerrero had stolen the trophy and replaced it with his own. He then came out to destroy the original. The story took a dark turn on the May 6th episode of SmackDown, when Michael Cole introduced footage from the previous Sunday, a live event at El Paso, Texas, Eddie's hometown. Eddie Guerrero brought his wife and daughters to the ring, presented them with flowers. He then brought out his elderly mother. This heartwarming moment was ruined by JBL as he entered the ring and decked Eddie with a clothesline from hell. He then turned his attention to Eddie's mother and began intimidating her. He put his hand on her shoulder and she collapsed, apparently suffering a heart attack. Eddie came around just in time to see EMTs attending to her. From here until Judgment Day, Eddie Guerrero was incensed. He showed up to the ring staring daggers through JBL. And as soon as the bell rang, a wild brawl took place. Every time Eddie was in control, the match spilled to the outside, while every time JBL was in control, he would apply a hold and attempt to ground Eddie. With the referee knocked down, JBL took the opportunity to hit Eddie with a vicious, unprotected chair shot to the head. The rim of the chair cut Eddie open, and he was bleeding profusely. Despite this, Eddie continued to fight back, the ring canvas completely stained in his blood. After a second referee was knocked down, Bradshaw hit the clothesline from hell, but was unable to pin Eddie as there was no referee available. Bradshaw then concocted a plan. He threw the title belt and a chair into the ring, and attempted to distract the referee with the chair while hitting him with the belt. Eddie countered with a low blow, and blinded by rage, hit Bradshaw with the belt, causing the referee to call the DQ. Bradshaw, who was now bleeding by this point as well, took a receipt from Guerrero in the form of another unprotected chair shot. Officials pulled him out of the ring and tried to separate the two, but Eddie gave chase, attacking JBL on the rampway. Eddie might not have won the match, but he left as WWE Champion. The night was not over for him, however, as he had lost so much blood that he had to be rushed to hospital to have a blood transfusion. This heated feud was far from over, and at the next pay-per-view, the Great American Bash, the two would meet again in a bull rope match, only this time Bradshaw would pull out the victory. Thank you for watching yet another day in wrestling history. If you like this, please comment, like or subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow to talk about one of Chris Jericho's fiercest rivals in WCW.